And to kick off this video, I would like to explain you the chaos to clarity method in a bit simpler version for your second brain. But first of all, who am I? So I'm Jeff, I'm a photographer and also ex-co-founder of a German company called Zenivo. We were a team of 10 people and we made around 300,000 in the first year, even now predicting to make 7 figures. But 2 years ago, I paid myself out with another co-founder, and after leaving my company, I began following my passion and purpose, which actually led me to this YouTube channel here and helping others like you to improve their business productivity and create clarity from chaos. And additionally, I teach others how to start a second brain business, which is the result of the next steps after the chaos to clarity method. So the chaos to clarity method is exactly this one here. So if you're interested to understand the chaos to clarity method, I also done another video about this topic already. And also it is part of my 7-day chaos to clarity challenge. So if you want to build and start your own business, the 7-day challenge might be something for you because it actually explains exactly the chaos to clarity method, which I'm showcasing you right now here with a bit more information in the beginning. And in these 7 days, I guide you to more clarity, less chaos, higher productivity, fewer work hours, and the foundation of your second brain business. There's no bullshit, just pure value for 7 days. And to kick off this video, I would like to explain you the chaos to clarity method in a bit simpler version for your second brain. So your second brain can be Obsidian. I use Cortex, for example, which is a new software based or from Dan Co, which is a famous YouTuber, and he actually hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So congrats to Dan. And yeah, this method is a showcase here. And for this method, you can actually use Notion, you can use Obsidian, you can even use Apple Notes, probably Notebook LM and anything else, right? It just needs to have a document and a folder structure in some ways. I use Cortex because it's my primary second brain and I really like the tool and the software. It has great shortcuts. So if you're interested to check the software out, link is everything down below. But yeah, let's explain how I organize a second brain. So first of all, most of you might know there's a chat function or an inbox feature in a lot of second brains. Same with like Notion. And in Cortex, we have a chat function. Like we can chat and send stuff into our chat. And then I also create an inbox, for example, which is above here. And then below I have the Zettelkasten method, which I will talk about that at the end. Then I have the para method, which I will talk about right now in a few seconds. And yeah, the Zettelkasten system is actually the brand clarity and also my business or my personal brand, which I'm currently just started here on YouTube. So everything is above, so my mechanism, my business stuff, everything you can see here. Then we have the para method by Tiago Forte. So the para method by Tiago Forte is his own method, projects, areas, resources, and archive. And then additionally, he also has an inbox feature, which I have as well. That's everything. We organize it first into this inbox because we are mostly in a hurry. And then after the inbox feature, we organize it into projects, areas, resources, and archive. So short explanation. Projects, for example, always have a specific end in mind. So, oops, we can't see it. So projects always have a specific end in mind and the goal. Let's say my challenge, 90-day challenge, which I run beginning of this year, took 90 days and there would be, for example, for 3 months ago. Then areas, for example, is like roles and maintenance. That would be, for example, this YouTube channel here. And resources are mostly like books, inspirations, something which is not actionable. And then archive is kind of like the rubbish bin, but we can look into in like 1 or 2 years and still find the stuff. And then we also have the inbox feature, which yeah, you just drag the items because you're mostly in a hurry, and then you organize it with a tag system, which I will come up in a second. So for projects, for example, we have things I'm currently doing. That's the Writers Bootcamp from Dan. It's his course cohort, for example. And then I also do brain dumps. And for example, with 2025, that's like where I organize my social media posts. Then we have the areas, which is actually the most important. And honestly, we don't really need that in a second brain that well, how it's organized in this specific way. but it just helps to get more clarity in a bit. So how do I organize it? So as I mentioned before, there's the mastery nodes, the Zettelkasten method, and Dan talks about this as core nodes. And then underneath that, I have the 4 domains of clarity. That's how I call it. The 4 domains of clarity, for example, are, actually, as you can see here, life mastery, business mastery, productivity mastery, and mind mastery. And the purpose for this is actually pretty simple. Everything I have, everything I study, everything I do for my business can be categorized in these 4 domains. Life mastery is the above everything. That's like the kind of like the hierarchy of needs. Then we have the business mastery. So the business mastery is how to make money in some ways. It could be also your work in some ways. Then we have the productivity mastery, because the better your productivity, the better your business and the better your life. And then we have the mind mastery, understanding our emotions, understanding our needs, understanding what we actually want as a purpose. That's the foundation. If we understand this in some particular way, we can always go higher in the hierarchy, and at the end we end actually up at the life mastery and kind of have a fulfilling, happy life. So how does the hierarchy method works? First of all, as you can see here, there's 3 specific colors. We have red, orange, and yellow. Red, for example, is the grandparent, the highest topic category, one of the 4 domains of clarity. Then we have the parent tag, is the subcategory, which is below that. And then we have the child tag, which is even below that, which have a specific purpose in mind. Then we have the example getting into action. So first of all, number 3 is productivity mastery. Then underneath we have flow mastery, which is orange. And then underneath we have flow triggers, which is yellow. And even underneath, which I sadly done wrong here, is no color, which we can use into a specific text. As you can see the example here, for me, that is getting into the mental universe or Jeff's mind universe. This is a specific business method I use. Multidimensional thinking and multidimensional writing and interconnected writing. And that's what I always was good at and always felt most happy when my mind connects the dots flowing in a conversation, or now with the skills of writing and a second brain. So everything what is blue, as you can see there, is this no color connection as the mastery nodes. So you click in the mastery nodes and then you can get even deeper into your Zettelkasten system, into your mind, and then understanding, okay, what is actually a second brain? What is actually multidimensional writing and interconnected writing? What is actually just mind universe? So I can click while reading it stuff or explain someone, and then I can click through it and then like, oh, that's what Jeff is actually doing with his stuff. Okay, so then we have resources. Resource, in my opinion, is not that relevant for a second brain in Cortex currently, but it will be necessary in the future. Then we have archive, which is the rubbish bin. We just put our stuff what we don't need, just out of sight, out of mind, best thing ever. And then if we need it, we can look into it in the future. And now we're coming to the most important part, the Zettelkasten method. So this is a method probably done in 1900, I don't know, 80, 90, whatsoever. And that was the first version of it. Then Dan done his own method and called it core nodes. And then Jeff done his own method called mastery nodes. And there's only one huge difference between Dan and the mastery nodes. And the difference is actually in terms of organization. Dan, as I assume, don't have ADHD. I have ADHD. So I kind of need more specific organization because, yeah, with ADHD, we tend to get really disorganized. And the system works this way, and it's also the chaos to clarity tag system. So everything what I explain right now is kind of like this thing. So if you join the challenge or the Discord community, you can see the stuff and you understand it even better if you want to. So how does it work? We have 2 things. We have metadata and connections. Metadata or the metadata are hashtags, and the connections are, as I mentioned before, the mastery nodes. The interconnections, you can jump from one document to the other, like in Obsidian. And we have the same thing. We have here again the colors, red, orange, and yellow. And then For the hashtags, we have, let's say, productivity mastery, orange flow mastery, and then flow triggers. But then for the hierarchy, for the connections, we have productivity mastery as a connection to the document, flow mastery also as a document, and flow triggers also as a document. And the purpose on the hierarchy is that we mostly have more connections to one specific thing. There's not mostly like one thing perfectly connects to like only one, because flow triggers are also not only for productivity, they're also for mind mastery. So connecting all of that together in these connections makes more sense, right? Okay, and then the last one underneath is a core node, or mastery node, how I call it, as a connection word, as I mentioned before. So if you're interested about this template, the mastery nodes for Cortex, and you are a Cortex user, click the link down below, because you can get it free in my Discord community, or you also get it in a challenge. And yeah, there's nothing really like a big change in this particular thing. The only thing what I've done is including this block with metadata and connections, and that's actually it. I hope this helps this video. I hope this video gives you extra clarity to actually understand how to organize your second brain. And yeah, hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Give me any feedback if I've done anything wrong and you didn't like it, just so I can improve. Hope you like this video. See you guys in my next video. Bye.